Gonna hit the little button on your screen. Right. Thank you. All right. So good morning, everybody. Welcome. Happy Sunday. Okay, got it. Other Allison. Thank you. Happy Sunday. Happy Sunday. My thought for you that I've been working with lately is on the concept of listening, right? And so listening not only in the context of actually hearing more, like focusing your senses and being present, but listening being a state of receptivity that allows us to experience things without having to think it, right? Because in yoga, most of or much of what we know or what we've come to understand is the deepest teachings that we're given or not things that a bunch of yogis sat around and thought about or that talked about. They are things that were revealed in states of meditation, things that were revealed in states of extreme quiet or extreme stillness, right? So our practice as even modern yogis is that this is still what we're trying to do, is that there's so much that I can tell you or that any teacher can tell you that will mean something to your mind, but it will mean something completely different to your experience of yourself as a being if you feel it revealed, right? So the listening is that process of becoming quiet enough that you can feel yourself without having to think about yourself. Make sense? So start to find a comfortable seat. And we find that, and it's across traditions, right, that we're asked to become quiet. We're asked to become receptive so that what's already present is able to be felt and revealed, right? This is the basis of mindfulness. It's the basis for pretty much every spiritual tradition, is that we get quiet so that we can hear the still voice inside. We can hear the heartbeat of the world. We can hear what someone else is really saying to us instead of being in the state where we're already thinking about how we're going to respond. So practice listening. As you settle into your seat, you settle into your breath. And let your senses go wide. So let your ears become open to whatever sounds there are in your vicinity. And let yourself smell what there is to be smelled. If there's a taste on your tongue, taste what there is to be tasted. Feel what there is to be felt through your skin. In Pratyahara, it's a practice, it says, of drawing the senses inward. And so we think that's taking it away from the outside world, and it's usually how it's described. But can you keep your senses awake to the outside world and let that be what draws you into interconnectedness, stillness? And just notice the breath as it flows in and out. Begin to follow it, breathing from the top of your head down to the base of your spine. Inhale downward. Exhale, follow the breath all the way back up the spine, out through the crown. Inhale, draw the breath down into the base of the spine. Exhale, follow the breath back up. And do that several more times, inhaling the breath down the spine, down to the tail, and then exhaling all the way back up. And the next time you exhale and let the breath leave through the crown of the head, let it ebb away. Bring your hands together in front of the heart center, palm to palm. We'll open with the sound of Om. Deep breath in. And let the eyes float open. Nice, you guys. You can release your hands. Stay seated. Bring your hands to your knees or your thighs and start to circle your torso. Either direction that you would like. Move your torso. Good. It was very fun. I actually went to a kirtan yesterday. I haven't been to a live kirtan in a long time. And it's a reminder, right, that kirtan, if you haven't been to one ever, or you haven't been to a live one, as you know, it's ecstatic singing, right? So it's like a yogi rock concert, I guess. But it's an internal experience, right? So you're chanting these mantras, or you're chanting the names of God, and it's just, you know, it gets faster and faster and more excited, more excited, more excited. And then it winds down, and what you're left with is this beautiful, profound silence. Move yourself the other direction. So you think to yourself, right, it's the ecstatic singing that is the practice, right? No, the ecstatic singing is what brings you to a state where you can receive the silence. Because in the silence, there's the mantra or the name that is always singing itself. It's not you thinking it, it's that name or that vibration exists. And by singing it, you attune yourself to it. And then when you go into silence, you just feel it as real. So our practice is always one of trying to learn to listen. Good. Come back to stillness, please. Inhale the arms all the way up to the sky. Interlace your fingers, press the heels of the hands up towards the ceiling. Good. Reach through the side ribs, pull up through your low belly, pull up through the back of your sacrum. So get long, long, long from the base of your spine. Good. And then exhale, release the arms out and down, reaching that full length of your wingspan all the way down. And then just walk your hands forward fold over the crossed legs, or however you're seated. Good. You can flex the feet, absolutely, for the knees to feel nice and secure, but walk yourself forward and feel yourself pressing back and down into your sit bones. So as your torso comes forward, you're pressing down and back. Good. And then breathe very deeply into the lowest part of your spine. So into the width of your sacrum, all the way down into the glutes, into that area that is your seat. Good. And then walk yourself all the way back up, please. Nice job. Cross the ankles if they're not already. Roll forward to hands and knees. Good. Yeah, spreading the fingers nice and wide. Take your right leg back behind you, left arm forward. Take a balance. So right leg comes up in line with your hip, left arm comes forward. Good. Turning the right toes down towards the floor. Good. Draw your low rib cage in and up. So lift everything up towards the ceiling, and then press down through that right hand and that left shin. Good. Deep breath in, and then exhale, bring the elbow and knee together underneath you, round your back. Good. And then inhale, extend all the way out. Beautiful. Exhale, squeeze in, round in, elbow to knee. Good. And then inhale, extend all the way out. And one more time, bring the elbow and knee together, squeeze. Beautiful. And then extend all the way out again. Beautiful. Release that left hand down to the floor. Please take your right foot to the floor, step it over to the bottom left-hand corner of your mat, and then look over your left shoulder. So towards that foot, towards that heel. Keep the toes tucked, but the heel pointing up towards the ceiling. So you're not letting the foot fall open. Good. Lift that right low belly a little higher and wider. Again, draw your rib cage in and up. Good. I know you're looking over your shoulder, but don't drop your head. So lift through the back of your throat and look over your shoulder. Nice. Awesome, you guys. And then bring it back to center, please. Keep that leg straight, and then step the left foot back behind you, plank pose. So both feet to the floor. Good. Chest moving forward towards the tips of your fingers. Again, look towards your belly button. Draw your low ribs in. Good. Draw the back of your sacrum up, back of your rib cage up. Beautiful. And then drag back on your hands. Let your weight slide forward a little bit more, and then start to lift the collarbones up. Yeah, almost like you're trying to just bring yourself into a back bend, but you're still in plank. Inner thighs up, inner thighs up, inner thighs up. I know, it should feel like you're pulling your spine like taffy. Good. And then hips to the sky, downward facing dog. Nice. Breathing your whole spine. Inhale the breath all the way from the tips of your fingers up to the tip of your tail. And then exhale down the backs of the legs, softening the heels. So not trying to press through the heels, but just softening. Then inhale again, up the length of your spine, up towards the tail. Exhaling down the backs of the legs, soften your knees. So you let your shins move forward. And maybe you feel a little bit more stretch in the ankles. One more time, inhaling up the length of the spine, up to the tail. And then all the way down to the heels, softening. Nice job. Right foot steps forward between the hands. Good. Drop that back knee to the floor, please. Beautiful. Good. Walk both hands to the upper left-hand corner of your mat. I didn't forget about that second side. Don't worry. Good. Cat-cow your spine, please, up on your fingertips. Inhaling, lengthen, exhaling, curl in. Good. A lot of attention on the lowest part of your spine, right? As you're moving, it's easy to get kind of caught in where the most mobility is. This is true in every one of our poses, is that we focus on where our greatest flexibility is, and we try to skirt away from where our resistance is or where our tightness is. But working with your tightness is how you create stability, right? Your flexibility is not always where your freedom is. Your flexibility is often what gets you in trouble. Good. Take one more breath, lifting up and wide through the chest. And then as you exhale, go ahead and drop down to your elbows if that's available. If it's not, stay on your fingertips, maybe just letting yourself soften the arms into the shoulder socket a little bit more. And still keeping the breath really focused on the lowest part of the spine. I was doing this yesterday, adding in a little chakra visualization with many of the poses. So if you choose to do that, you can, of course, focus on there being a vibrant energy center at the base of your spine. And all of the centers moving up the spine. The color at the base is red and moves up the rainbow scale as you go higher towards the crown. But even if you don't bring that color into your mind, as you can breathe into that space of you and feel the energy of your lowest part of your spine, lowest part of your body. I guarantee that there were yogis that didn't have a book in front of them that said, well, the first chakra is red and the second one is orange and then the next one is yellow. Is they had their meditation, and in their own practice, they felt or revealed to themselves that, this is what is the energy of this part of the body. This is the energy of this experience. One more breath. Get softer. That's listening. It's getting softer. And then walk yourself all the way back up, please. Good. Tuck the back toes, lift the back knee, and then take the right leg up and back behind you, down dog split. Good. Bend the knee, kick your heel in towards your butt. Keep the knee pointing down. Good. So Ludmila, just switch your legs. Take the right leg up into down dog split. There you go. And then kick that heel a little higher. Draw your arm bones up and into the shoulders. Lift your chest forward and up like you're going to bring the back of your head to your heel. But don't drop through your ribs, right? Keep this long line through your back thigh. Good. And get softer through that standing heel that's supporting you. Good. And then stretch that right leg to straight. Relax the head, please. Bring that right foot back down to the floor. Good. Downward facing dog. Slide forward to plank pose. Good. Lift the back of your throat, so no dropping the head. Yeah. And then bring the knees to the floor, hands and knees. Nice job. Left leg comes back behind you. Right arm comes forward. Take your balance. Good. Again, turning those left toes down towards the floor. Beautiful. Draw your low rib cage in. Nice, Lisa. Good. As you exhale, bring your elbow and knee together underneath you. Round your back, squeeze in. Nice, Jessica. Nice, Diane. Extend all the way back out. Inhale. Good. Exhale, draw everything in together, round through your back. And then as you come forward again into that longer spine, inhale, don't drop your ribs. So try not to bring your leg so high that it turns your hip open. Turn your toes down. Good. One more time, bring the elbow and knee together. Good. And then send it all the way back. Extend. Awesome. Right hand finds the floor. Left leg stays straight. Bring the toes down and then step that foot over to the bottom right-hand corner of your mat. Look over the left shoulder. Sorry, that's your right shoulder towards your heel. Good. Again, without dropping that left hip towards the floor. So keep your left low belly lifted and wide as much as you can. Try not to drop the head. Nice, Heidi. Good, Melody. Nice, everybody. Press back through that left heel a little bit more so the weight of your hips is moving back towards the back of your mat. Good. Awesome, you guys. And then come back to center, please. Good. Keep that left leg straight. Step the right leg back to plank pose again. Look towards your belly button, round into your ribs. Press your inner thighs up and wide. Good. And then again, dragging back on the hands. Move your weight forward slightly so your armpits are over your wrists. And then start to lift your collarbones forward and up. Good. Don't drop the ribs though. Keep pulling in and up, but widen your collarbones. Good. And then hips to the sky, downward facing dog, breathing up from the crown of the head to the tail, and then all the way down the backs of the legs, softening through the heels. Good. Breathing up the spine, letting your heart drift towards your thumbs. So you're letting the arms settle into the shoulder socket. And the breath flows down the backs of the legs. One more breath like that, breathing from the top of your head up to your tail, and then all the way down the backs of the legs. Nice. Left foot steps forward between the hands, lunge. Good. Drop the back knee, please. Both hands come inside the front foot. Walk towards the upper right-hand corner of your mat, up on your fingertips, and then cat-cow your spine. Good. You guys let me know if it gets too hot in here. It occurs to me that it doesn't sound like the air conditioning is on, so I will turn it on if you want. And then you can complain about being cold. Nice, you guys. Again, this interesting combination, right, of feeling your flexibility and feeling where there is restriction or tightness. And still breathing into where there is the stability of your pose. It's all the way down at the base of the spine. Good. Next exhale, if you'd like, drop down to your forearms or stay on your fingertips. Nice. I'm feeling, right, we have that sort of triangular experience of the lower spine, the sacrum, and then we have a similar almost like the negative space of that triangle exists with the shoulders, right? So there's a mirroring of the shoulders and the lower back. So in this position, right, can you soften the space of your upper back between your shoulders? Good. And feel the security or the stableness of your lower back, the sacrum. So the legs squeeze towards each other, but the upper spine relaxes. Nice. The suggestion is always to stay curious in your poses. Stay curious in your practice, that you don't have to know anything. That's where we get confused, right? We don't have to know anything to do yoga well, as we just have to be very good at listening. Good. One more breath, letting the knee stay over the ankle, keep the heel flat. Again, softening behind the shoulder blades, softening behind the heart. Good. Walk yourself back up onto your hands, please. Nice. Tuck your back toes, lift the back knee, and then take your left leg up and back to down dog split. So that front leg comes back and up. Good. Bend the knee, kick your heel in towards your butt, keep the knee pointing down. Good. So your hips should be level with the floor, pointing towards the floor. And then drag those arm bones up and in. Good. Lift that left thigh a little higher, and then lift the back of your heart, the back of your throat into the back bend. So squeeze the arms up and in. Good. Pull the top of your right thigh back. And again, soften that right heel towards the floor so you're not locking through your knee. Good. Hips back, Heidi. Nice, Allison. Both Allisons. Awesome. Release the leg, please, to straight. Release the shoulders. Step that left foot down to the floor. Downward facing dog. Again, breathing all the way up the spine to the tip of your tail, exhaling down the backs of the legs. And this can be with a subtle bend to the knees if you need. I want you to really feel the length of your spine. So if bending your knees means that you feel more of your spine, do that. Good. One more breath, breathing all the way up to the tip of your tail. Pull the hips back. Exhaling down the back of the legs. Awesome. Slide forward to plank pose, upward push up. Lower down slow, coming through knees first if you need. Good. Rise up cobra, lift head, neck, and chest. Good. Pointing the toes back behind you. Beautiful. Drag back on the hands. And again, feel that squeeze of the shoulder blades coming towards each other, the tips of the shoulder blades coming towards the back of the heart, cradling the back of the heart. Good. And then release, please, bringing yourself back downward facing dog. Really nice, Allison. So funny. Two Allisons. You're both Allison with an A last name. So I can't. Yeah. Yes, we can put the air on. Drop your knees to the floor, please. Child's pose. It's a cute way of getting a break.
Thank you.
No, I know it's hot in here. Good. If you needed to put your air conditioning on too, good job. Take one more breath in your child's pose, pressing down through your feet, giving a little hug of your knees towards your outer ribs. So again, you get into that feeling of openness, but also stability of the lower spine. Good. And then walk your hands back in, please. Come back downward facing dog, tuck the toes, lift the hips. Good. Bring the right leg up and back behind you, down dog split. Good. Bring that knee forward towards your nose. So knee towards your nose, armpits over your wrist, squeeze. Good. And then shoot that leg out to the left underneath that left wrist so that baby toe edge of your foot finds the floor. Drop your left heel to flat, please. Take your left arm to the sky and open. Good. They used to call this wild thing. I don't know what they call it these days. Good. Chest open, heart open. Yeah, ecstaticness. And then go ahead and release, please, dragging that right leg back and up behind you again. So you pull in and press back. Good. And then step that foot forward between the hands. Inhale the arms to the sky, high lunge. Good. That same feeling of ecstaticness. Lift the heart nice and high. Again, you're opening to something that is greater than you. Whether it's inside of you or you think it's outside of you, doesn't matter. Good. Open bigger. Draw those shoulder blades back and in. Arms out wide, cactus arms. Take it into a bigger back bend. Let yourself get longer. Nice, Jen. Good, Barry. Awesome. And then stretch the arms all the way back up, please. Release the hands down to the floor. Beautiful. Swing that right leg back and up behind you. Down dog split. Good. Bend the knee, kick your heel in towards your butt. Stack the right hip on top of the left. Nice. Optional here is to flip your dog. So bring that foot to the floor behind you. Left hand stays on the floor. Right arm lifts all the way up and open like you're coming into a back bend. Good. So the tippy toes of that right foot are on the floor. Open chest. Again, feel this as ecstatic, not a lot of work, but a lot of opening. Can be a lot of work too. And then bring yourself all the way back down, dog split. I know you're not done. One leg the rest of the class. Good. Step that right foot forward between the hands, please. Drop the back knee. Inhale the arms to the sky. Anjaneyasana. Remember when every class was vinyasa and we moved this fast? And then release the hands back down to the floor, please. Good. Lift that back knee up. Step the left foot forward just a little bit. Take both legs to straight. Parsvottanasana. Good. Finding a deep breath. Again, the whole length of your spine from the top of your head to the tip of your tail. Then exhale again down the backs of the legs. Good. So you're inhaling through what maybe feels like the easier part of the pose. Maybe the back isn't the easy part for you. And exhaling down what maybe feels like the more challenging part of the pose. The point is that you let your mind sweep over the entire experience, as you don't let one hang off in the corner and hope that you just don't have to pay attention to it, as you actually breathe through all of it. It's the essence of being mindful, is that whatever is there, you accept it. Whatever is there, you breathe with it. Whatever is there, you experience it. You don't just think it. And in that state where we are very receptive, very open, as things start to become revealed. What is true for us, what is true fundamentally becomes revealed. And it's rarely what we think. Rarely what we expect. One more breath, hug that right hip back and in. Nice. And then bend the right knee, please. Step the left foot forward alongside the right, standing forward fold. Good. Feet underneath the hips. Bend your knees. Take the arms up alongside the ears. Chair pose. Good. Hands to heart center, please. Twisting to the right. Good. Left elbow to the outside of the right knee. Nice. Dropping the hips a little lower, heart a little higher. Open the arms wide. So bringing those left fingertips down towards the floor, any amount, right arm reaching up. So again, an open chest. Right? Doesn't matter if it's restricted, open as much as you can. And then bring the hands back to heart center, please. Come back to unwind your twist, hands to the floor, straighten your legs and bow. Give you the break. Deep breath in, again, all the way the length of your spine up to your tail. And then exhale down the backs of the legs. Good. Bend the knees again, drop into chair pose, arms up alongside the ears. Make that an ecstatic reaching. Good. And then hands to heart center, please, twisting to the left, right elbow to the outside of the left knee. Good. Good. Don't let that right knee slide forward. Move it back. Nice, Lena. Good. Drop that right hand open down to the floor. Left arm opens up to the sky. Nice, Meredith. Good, Heidi. Nice, Jessica. Beautiful, my Allisons. Good. And then bring the hands back to center, please, back to the heart. And then unwind your twist, arms up to the sky, still in chair. I know. Come up on your tippy toes, lift your heart higher, drop your hips. Yes. Beautiful. And then press the heels flat to the floor. Come all the way up to stand. Yeah, take the hands together overhead if you can. Take it into a back bend, lifting the top of your chest, leaning back, leaning back, leaning back. And then as you lean back, take the tops of your thighs back. And then draw in and up from below your belly button to really feel the length of your abdominals. And then lean back more. There it is. Beautiful. And then all the way back up. Exhale, hands down to the floor. Nice job. Step or jump yourself back to plank. Good. Lower down slow, coming through knees if you need. Rise up, cobra. Good. Exhale, downward facing dog. Beautiful. Left leg comes up and back behind you, down dog split. Good. Bring that knee forward towards your nose, knee in towards your chest, armpits over your wrists, and then send that leg out wide to the right. So underneath you, baby toe edge of the foot finds the floor. Split the legs a little deeper if you can, and then drop that right heel to flat. Yep. And then take the right arm up to the sky. You got it. Open, open, open. Keep pressing through that left hand. So everything is rising up. You're not falling into the floor here. You're pushing into the floor to rise up. Good. Beautiful. And then unwind, please. Take that left leg up and back behind you. Down dog split. Good. And then step the foot between the hands. Lunge. Inhale the arms to the sky. High lunge, like an ecstatic reaching. Your heart goes to the sky, not just your hands. Good. So again, lifting from the lowest part of your belly, squeeze the feet together, pull up and lean back. Good. Lean back. Don't be scared. Lean back. Good. Squeeze the legs. Beautiful. And then bring it all the way back up, please. I love it. Bring the hands back down to the floor. Good. Take that left leg up and back behind you. Down dog split. Bend the knee, kick your heel in towards your butt. Stack the left hip on top of the right. Optional is to flip your dog, bringing that left foot to the floor behind you. Left arm comes to the sky. So you're rotating the whole body so that it opens into a back bend towards the ceiling. Good. Left arm open, open, open. Chest open, open, open. Push into the floor. Rise up from the back of your heart. Beautiful. Nice, Ludmila. Nice, Lauren. Come all the way back to down dog split, please. I know. And then step that left foot forward between the hands. Lunge. Drop the back knee, Anjaneyasana. Inhale, both arms to the sky. Good. Heart to the sky. Yeah, squeeze the legs towards each other. Again, stability of the lower body allows for freedom of the upper body. Yeah, and then release the hands back down to the floor. Please lift that back knee. Step the right foot forward just a little bit. Take both legs to straight Parsvottanasana. You can absolutely use blocks underneath the hands here. And again, come back to that length of your breath where you are breathing all the way up the spine to the tip of your tail and down the backs of the legs. Good. And I know if your mind, you're like, but I'm not breathing up the spine if I'm going from my head to my tail. That's actually down my spine. But right now my head is oriented towards the floor. So I guess it's kind of up my spine. Stop it. Telling my mind to stop doing that. Right? The direction, right, is can I feel the rise of my breath on the inhale, no matter what direction I'm giving it? And can I feel the fall of the exhale? And can I recognize that the rise of the inhale and the fall of the exhale are so interconnected and necessary that they are both the cause for my realization? They are both part of the experience of being mindful, listening. The rise and the fall, the rhythms of existence, rhythms of life. So you practice that. Breathe through the entire part of the pose, the entire length of the spine, down the backs of the legs. Good. One more breath. Getting a little softer, maybe through the back of the heart. Nice. And then bend that left knee, please. Step the right foot forward, top of your mat. Good. Both legs come to straight. Beautiful. Bend the knees, drop your seat back for chair. Take your arms up alongside your ears. Hands to heart center, please. Prayer twist to the right, left elbow to the outside of that right knee. Good. And again, stability for the lower spine. So you can look down here, curl into your low belly, and then step your left foot back to a lunge. So you're still in prayer twist, but you step back to a lunge. Good. And then open the arms wide again, taking the left fingertips down towards the floor, right fingertips up towards the sky. Good. And again, don't worry about if there's restriction. Beautiful. You can also keep the elbow hooked if bringing the bottom hand straight doesn't work. Good. Bring the hands back to heart center, please. Prayer twist. Look down towards the floor again. Step your left foot back alongside your right. Come back to prayer twisting chair. Good. And then release your twist. Take the arms all the way up to the sky. Come to stand. Beautiful. Hug the right knee up in towards your chest. I know. No breaks. Good. And then cross that right thigh over top of your left, wrapping the thighs and the outer shins for eagle. Bend that left knee again. Left arm over top of right in front of your chest. Wrap the forearms. And again, drop yourself in low. So draw that low belly in. Drop yourself in low. Good. Squeeze the shins. Beautiful. Bring the elbows forward towards the knees. Round into your back. Good. And then as the hips come low, keep them there and then lift your elbows again. Come back as vertical as you can. So pull your ribs back, crown of the head straight up to the sky. Get as vertical as you can. Keep going vertical, 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 vertical. Keep going. Stretch the back. Lift your elbows higher. Deep breath in. Yes. And then unwind, arms to the sky, feet to the floor. Deep breath in. Beautiful. Exhale, hands down to the floor. Remember when every class was a vinyasa class and this is how fast we moved? You're like, yeah, I don't miss that. Good. Inhale, lengthen, come up halfway. Fingers to the floor or to your shins. And then exhale, bow again, pulling in and up through your belly. So again, the legs stay very stable. Good. Bend your knees, drop your seat for chair, arms up alongside your ears. Hands to heart center. Prayer twist, left elbow to the outside of your, right elbow to the outside of your left knee. You're twisting to the left. Sorry about that. Good. And then looking down towards the floor, please hold the twist and step your right foot back to a lunge. Good. So you're in a high lunge prayer twist. And then open the arms wide. So right fingertips reaching towards the floor or a block, left arm to the sky. Beautiful. Chest open, open, open. Nice, Lisa. Good, Jen. Good, Ludmila. And then bring the hands back to heart center, please. Gaze back down towards the floor. Step the right foot back to the top of your mat. So back to a prayer twisting chair. Good. And then release the twist. Come all the way up to stand. Nice. Beautiful. Hug the left knee up in towards your chest. Good. Cross that left thigh over top of the right, wrapping the inner thighs, the outer shins. Bend that right knee. So again, you're dropping into that same chair energy of your legs, dropping into the lowest part of your body, the most stable part. Right arm over top of left in front of the chest, wrap the forearms. And then remember that triangle at the middle of your shoulder. So draw the tips of those shoulder blades towards each other. And then round the back, bringing the elbows forward towards your knees. Squeeze those shins, you guys. Don't just squeeze your butt, squeeze your shins. Good. And then keep your hips that low. Start to lift the elbows, lift the spine, get vertical, vertical, vertical. Heart rising up. You're going to feel the resistance in your back where you're tight. Don't worry about it. Breathe into it. Draw your low belly in. Drop your seat, lift your chest, lift the elbows a little higher and feel that hug of the triangle at the back of your heart. Good. And then unwind everything, feet to the floor, arms to the sky. Good. And then standing Tadasana, drop the arms alongside you, palms facing forward. So I'm saying Tadasana, it doesn't mean pretend that you disappear and be lazy in your posture. It means be Tadasana, be the mountain. So you find the spread of your feet. You let the tops of your thighs float back as your shins soften forward. You feel a gentle lift at the front of your hip bones so that your tail can softly descend. You feel your ribs soften back, so it's going to feel like the top of your shoulders round forward. Let that happen. And then because your hands are facing forward, just let the tops of or the front of the arm bones float back. Drop your chin level to the floor and feel that gentle lift through the back of your throat. Like from the top of your head, there's a string that's gently pulling you up. Eyes closed, relax. Stay awake, but be relaxed. Tadasana, the mountain. The mountain that stands in the blue sky. The blue sky is the infinite, and the mountain itself is that steadiness that says, I can observe that. And can you listen for the sound of your breath? You let your mind take in the entire moment. Really listen. Don't lose your focus and think that you're just standing around. You're in Tadasana. Good. At the end of the next exhale, inhale the arms back up to the sky. Good. Exhale, bow forward, reaching the hands down to the floor. Beautiful. Step your right leg back behind you. Good. Nice long lunge. Beautiful. Drop that knee towards the floor, please. Inhale, both arms up to the sky. Anjaneyasana. Good. Nice, you guys. Hands to heart center, please. Right elbow to the outside of the left knee. How many prayer twists can you do in a day? 108. 108 prayer twists. That's what we're going for. Beautiful. Keep that right elbow hooked where it is. Maybe this time take the left arm straight up to the sky. Yep, so the right elbow stays hooked so you have that security. And then really work through your rib cage here. Reach up through the left arm. Reach up, reach up. Good. And then unwind your twist, please. Come all the way back to arms to the sky. Inhale. Yeah, heart to the sky. Drop back into your back bend. Good. And then release the hands down to the floor, please. Nice job. Lift the back knee. Take that left leg up and back behind you. Down dog split. Good. Bend the knee, kick your heel in towards your butt. Stack that left hip on top of the right. Open. Beautiful. If you're feeling very sassy and you want to start to lift that right hand and reach back for the foot or the ankle, go for it. Again, you've got to soften through that right heel that's holding you. Nice. Beautiful. Nice, Allison. Good. You got it, Lauren. Awesome. Nice, Dana. Good. Release the hands, please. Swing that left knee forward and wide. Pigeon pose. Left knee goes towards the left wrist. Good. Setting the shin. Turning that outer right hip spinning forward. So again, your back hip makes so much difference in how this pose feels. Turn your right hip forward and level it with your left one. If your right hip is back behind your left one, it's going to create a lot more strain on your pelvis. So lift your butt higher, scoot that right hip forward, level your pelvis. Good. Nice, you guys. And then just for a breath, right? As upright as you can be, up on fingertips, lift one arm or both to the sky. I know. Press into that front shin. You've got to really engage through the legs. Good. Engage through that low belly. Beautiful. Nice, Dana. Nice, Jen. Release the hands to the floor, please. Walk yourself forward. Whatever your resting pigeon looks like. Nice. Say what was, I think, one of the reasons why Vinyasa yoga, true Vinyasa, right? Moving one movement with one breath. And we haven't even been moving that fast today, almost. One of the reasons why I think it is a popular style is not just because, you know, Americans, we like to work too hard to try and accomplish something, but the rhythm of it, the movement of it gets you beyond your mind. And you're really able to tap into an ecstaticness that says, I love this feeling of my body, or I love this experience of, you know, moving with my breath and getting lost in it. We all know that after the body has had a really great workout, is that the rest afterwards, the Shavasana afterwards, always feels fantastic. That state of receiving when your effort is done. deep state of listening. That's what we practice for, is to just remove those layers of the active mind, the active mind, the active mind, until the inner quiet is suddenly revealed. If you do every pose and are just focusing on the busy mind, you'll get a lovely stretch for your body, and your mind will stay just as busy. And practice listening. Take one more breath here, again, relaxing into that upper part of the spine. And walk yourself back up onto your hands, please. Bend the back knee, take your right heel in towards your butt, reach back, left hand for the foot or the ankle, so a twisting quad stretch. Good. And if you're leaving the quad stretch out today, that's totally fine. But make sure that you are pressing down through that right thigh, so the right leg again is stabilizing, drawing that thigh up and into the pelvis. Lift your hip points forward and up. So again, you're getting more vertical. Chest up. Yep. There it is. Good. Nice, Lauren. Nice, Lena. And then slowly release, please. Hands to the floor. Tuck your back toes. Lift the back knee. Good. Left leg comes up and back behind you. Down dog split. Reach out through that heel. And then release the foot down to the floor. Good. Vinyasa if you choose, child's pose if you prefer. If you're doing the vinyasa, slide forward to plank, lower down chaturanga or to your belly, either one. Sliding forward either into cobra if you're on your belly, or upward facing dog if you are in chaturanga. And then finding your way back to downward facing dog. Again, breathing from the top of your head up to your tail, exhaling down the backs of the legs, soften your shins forward and feel the tops of the thighs pull back. Breathing up to the tip of your tail, breathing down the backs of the legs. Nice. Really good, Melody. Really good, Diane. Again, appreciate your down dogs. Awesome. Good. Right foot steps forward between the hands, please. Yep. Drop that back knee down to the floor. Good. Inhale the arms up to the sky, Anjaneyasana. Again, squeezing the front heel and the back knee towards each other. So even here, you're trying to engage the leg so that you can lift that left hip point forward. Again, level your pelvis here. Good. And then hands to heart center, please. Prayer twist, left elbow to the outside of the right knee. Good. Maybe keeping the left elbow hooked against the knee, stretch the right arm up to the sky. And again, really work at that openness through the chest, openness through the trunk. Good. Nice, nice, nice. Awesome, you guys. Beautiful, Heidi. Nice, Jessica. And then release, please. Hands back to heart center. Unwind your twist. Inhale, both arms to the sky. Again, find that sense of my heart goes higher and wider to allow in what? Right? The heart goes wide to allow something in. Beautiful. Release the hands all the way down to the floor. Good. Lift your back knee up, please. Take the right leg up and back behind you, down dog split. Good. Bend the knee, kick your heel in towards your butt. Stack the right hip on top of the left. Optional here to lift the left hand and reach for your right ankle. So a little balance. Nice, Melody. You got it. Nice. Good, Lisa. Good, Dana. That's right. You can reach up and tap your foot. That counts. Good. Release the hand, please. Nice job. Point that right knee towards the floor. Bring the right knee forward and wide. Pigeon pose. Ekapada Raja Kapotasana. It's just very fun to say. Good. And again, set your pelvis up well. So scoot that left hip spinning forward so that your pelvic bones are in the same line with each other. If that means that you are further away from the floor with your pelvis, I don't mind. Right? Set your pelvis. And then as vertical as you can get, right? Lift your chest higher, get your spine longer. So Lisa, take your knee a little wider and then really send that left hip spinning forward. Even more, even more.
Tell that.
I know.
There's
One hand or both to the sky.
It's like snap.
So put the blanket underneath your right butt cheek. Good, you guys. Deep breath in. She gave up. She's on her back. And then release the hands down to the floor. Good. Walk yourself straight ahead. Forward fold. Good. That works too.
I have a bad issue with the right side.
Ah, you have a very interesting place of relaxing on the right side. I do a lot of work with individuals with their bodies, and often coinciding with that is what's going on in their minds and how they think about what's going on in their lives and how that affects what's going on with their body.
Yeah, well.
But what I find very, very often is that when someone is explaining something to me or they're relating something to me and I ask sort of simple questions of like, well, what do you mean when you say that? Oh, well, I mean this, that, blah, blah, blah. And I'm like, well, that's not what you just said. Right? So part of this experience of listening is that we start to become very clear about what's true and what isn't true, and how to actually refine what our experience is. And usually in that context is that the inner world starts to reveal itself to us as that what we're feeling is not as bad as we think that it is. And if we can recognize what we are actually feeling, and we have far more capability, far more possibility to work with it, to allow it to become something else. And this is the practice, is that you are always opening to something bigger. So even if you've got that tricky situation on your right side, you've got that tricky situation with that one person, you've got that tricky situation with your job, or whatever it is, can you practice really listening to what's going on inside of you, but also listening to the other people, the other beings that are involved, because often what they're saying is not what they mean either. I promise you can see it in people's bodies that when you can say back to them or mirror back to them what they really intended to say, is that their whole body relaxes. You practice listening so that your speaking becomes more clear. Your thinking becomes more clear. Take one more breath and walk yourself back up onto your hands. And if that doesn't sound like any fun to you, then you don't have to do it. You do have to come up onto your hands. I mean, you don't have to refine your thinking if you don't want to. Good. Optional, take that quad stretch, please. Bending the left knee, kicking your heel in, reach back, right hand for the foot of the ankle, twisting quad stretch. Beautiful. And again, stay as vertical as you can. So you're really getting longer through your spine here. Nice. Pressing into the front shin. Awesome. Good. You can always do this in Anjaneyasana instead. And then slowly release the hands to the floor, please. Good. Tuck the back toes, lift the back knee. Take that right leg up and back down, dog split. Good. And then release that foot down to the floor, please. Downward facing dog. Deep breath in from the crown of your head to the tip of your tail. Exhale down the backs of the legs. Again, breathing from the top of your head to the tip of your tail, and then down the backs of the legs. And one more time from the crown of the head up to the tip of the tail, down the backs of the legs. Then look forward, step or jump your feet to the top of your mat to a squat pose. Separate your feet nice and wide, bend the knees. Opportunity for crow here. So another little ecstatic moment of excitement, right? Is you can drop the hands to the floor, lift your butt slightly, come up on your tippy toes, Good. And so lift your butt a little higher. You can even turn your feet slightly forward. And then as you bend your elbows just a little bit like you're in chaturanga, good. You lift the front of your chest, squeeze your knees up as high onto your armpits as you can. So get super high. Good. And then again, you're curling through the low belly, lifting through the back of your spine. And then squeeze those heels in and up towards your butt. You got to lean forward so that your shoulders are towards the tips of your fingers. Look forward. Good. One more breath if you're going for that crow pose. Squeeze it in. Nice, Lena. Nice, Lauren. Good, Lisa. Good, Barry. And then release the feet to the floor, please. Everybody come on down to sit. Hallelujah. Stretch the legs out in front of you. Good. Nice, you guys. Right leg stays straight. Bend your left knee, bottom of the foot into the inside of the right thigh. Let your knee go wide. Janu Shirshasana. Inhale the arms up to the sky. A little twist to the right. And bow over the right leg. There you go. Good. Nice. So Allison with the black shirt, soften your shoulders away from your ears. There you go. Nice, you guys. Good. And then slowly bring yourself all the way back up, please. Nice job. Bring that left knee facing up towards the sky or up towards the ceiling. Step it over your right thigh. Good. And then again, you can either stay here or you can bend the right knee as well, bringing that heel towards your left sit bone. So both knees can be bent into a twist. Good. There you go. And then you're taking the right arm up to the sky, please. Left hand back behind you. Good. Twisting to your left. So you're either hooking that right elbow to the outside of the knee or hugging the knee in towards your chest, looking over the left shoulder. So again, the right leg can be straight underneath you, or you can have both knees bent. But you should be able to feel both sit bones. Good. For some of you, if you have the elbow hooked around the outside of the leg, you can actually sort of bend the elbow and slide your hand between that triangle between the legs and then wrap the left arm around and take a little bind. Kind of cute. Good. If you don't know what I'm talking about, stay where you are. Good. Nice, Heidi. Nice, Jessica. Good, Allison. Both Allisons. Nice, Diane. Good. And then slowly release your twist, please, however it is appearing. Good. And then unwind your legs, please. Stretch the left leg straight out in front of you. Good. Bring the right foot to the inside of the left thigh. Let your right knee go wide. Inhale both arms up to the sky. Little twist to your left and bowing over the left thigh, forward fold. Good. See, what we know from the practice of yoga is cannot really be contained in books. Some of the experiences they attempt to be described in places like the Yoga Sutras and many other texts as well, say, well, it might look like this or it might look like that. And it's wonderful to imagine in your mind what that would be like. But it doesn't actually take you anywhere. It doesn't actually open you to anything until you yourself have allowed that experience to happen for you. That concept, we say we open the heart to what? We don't know. It's the beauty of it is that you're opening to an infiniteness that you do not know. Right? Your mind doesn't know it. Your heart already knows it, of course. But we practice so that those layers and layers and layers of activeness recede. And we're left with that state of deep listening. Good. Walk yourself back up, please. Keep that left leg straight. Bring the right knee face up towards the ceiling. Step the right foot over the left thigh. And again, this might be how you take your twist with the left leg straight. Or you can bend the left knee as well. Take your left heel towards your right butt cheek. Good. Outer thigh will be on the floor. Good. And then right hand back behind you, left arm to the sky. Again, you're either hooking the elbow around the outside of the knee or you're using the arm to squeeze the knee in, lifting your belly up towards that thigh. Good. And then those of you who are pretty well into a deep twist and you have that elbow hooked, if you can turn the arm back so that you can bring that left hand between the triangle of your legs, right arm can reach back behind you to hold hands behind the lower spine, take a little bind. Good. Stay as vertical as you can. Nice, Dana. Good, Melody. Good, Diane. And then slowly release, please, unwinding your twist. Come back to center. Good. Take the feet together, bottoms of the feet together for Baddha Konasana. Beautiful. Inhale the arms up to the sky. Good. Pressing into the baby toes of your feet. So again, create that stability of the lower body. Press into your feet, hug your knees up just a little bit. And then start to lean forward, extending from the base of your sacrum. Rise up, get longer, reach out, reach out. Good. Still squeezing the legs, pressing into the feet, sit bones back and wide. Nice. Then let the hands touch down to the floor, please. Still reaching through your spine. So one more breath where you're really actively reaching. And then exhale, release the reaching, release the squeezing of the legs if you'd like. And let yourself drop into the forward fold, however it feels good to do. Good. To be ecstatic does not mean that you have to be out of control or out of your mind, but it means that you are open to something that is beyond your mind. And that openness is one of those sources of joy, right? That we feel the joy of being open to something that is beyond us. It doesn't matter what you imagine that something to be. It's the openness that is the key. Receptiveness that is the key. Walk yourself all the way back up, please. Good. Find your way onto your backs. If you're in the room, sweet if you turn yourself around so your head space center of the room. Not a requirement, but it is the way we used to do things. The way we used to do things. Point your crown towards those others in the room. Bend your knees, please. Plant your feet. Separate your feet as wide as your mat and then windshield wiper the knees. So let your knees drop to the right and to the left. Good. Nice. And are you doing this mechanically or are you doing it in a way where you actually feel something? Just curious. Good. And then come back up to center, please. Knees back up to center. Good. Draw the knees in towards your chest. Take the knees wide for happy baby, reaching for the ankles or the feet. Good. Making sure your knees are still the widest part of your pose, so the heels are angling in slightly. Again, this is so that you're really working to have the rotation of your thigh in your hip socket, one that is very secure. Right? So you want the knees to go wide and the heels to go slightly in. Good. And then press down to the lowest part of your spine. Beautiful. And keep focusing on the lowest part of the spine. And if you were doing some chakra visualization during your practice, then you know that the lowest part of your spine is root chakra. The foundation of who you believe you are, your place in the world. And it's often said that if this chakra has restrictions, obstruction, confusion, it's very difficult to be in that state of openness. It's very difficult to stay in a state of receiving because we are so focused on just trying to survive, to maintain ourselves. So we bring our attention to the root, the base of the spine, because this is the source of that stability that allows us to be truly ecstatic, to truly let go. Bring the knees all the way together into the chest, please. Squeeze. And take the right thigh over top of the left, stacking the knees. Separate your feet. Reach for your ankles or your shins. Good. Gomukhasana legs, right leg over left. Good. Knees angled in towards the chest, towards the belly. Good. And then release and switch the legs. Please take the left thigh over top of the right. The interesting thing about focusing on or coming into more listening in your life or in your practice is that you start to become aware of where your own little pockets of resistance are. Some of them you might know about, and some of them you might be surprised. Oh, there's something there that needs my attention. Oh, there's something there that's been hurting for a long time. I'm not talking about muscles. It's in that state of listening that truly the things that we say no longer serve us start to fall away because we simply release our grip. We don't try to change, we simply allow change to happen. We don't attempt to become enlightened, we simply allow that state of inner awareness to be so present that it wipes away whatever our confusion was. And there's ecstasy in that. There's bliss in that. There's joy in that, that openness. Good. Unwind your legs, squeeze your knees in towards your chest. Suggestion is to come into plow pose. So maybe not full shoulder stand, but straight into plow if you choose. So sending the arms alongside you, elbows bent, knees in towards your chest. You can roll on the spine here. Good. And then engaging the belly, lift your hips up, take your hands to the lower back, and let the feet come to the floor above the top of your head. So it's like you're in an upside down forward fold. Good. And if this isn't available today for whatever reason, you can place a block underneath your seat and just take your legs up to the sky. Good. You can have your butt on the floor, legs up to the sky. That works too. Nice. And then if you are in plow and your feet can pretty comfortably come to the floor, if they're not on the floor, don't worry about it. But if they are, separate your feet a little wider and start to bend your knees. Let your knees drop alongside your ears any amount. Keep your hips lifting towards the sky though, so don't collapse in your rib cage. Good. Keep your shoulders pressing down. And it's a relaxing through the legs, softening through the back. Beautiful. Nice, you guys. One more breath wherever you are. Then if your knees are bent, start to straighten the legs again. Good. And then you can either come through full shoulder stand, taking the legs straight up if you choose, or you can start to roll down the spine from plow if you choose. Keep the navel engaged either way. So as the hips start to find the floor, you're bending the knees, keeping the navel drawing in and down towards the spine. Beautiful. So there's no herky-jerky lift of your head there. Beautiful. Good. And then let the feet come flat to the floor, please. Knees bent. Good. Couple of breaths where you just breathe yourself again through the length of your spine. Good. And if you plan to take Shavasana in shoulder stand, no problem. Go for it. But as you are ready, right, drawing the knees in towards your chest, please. Bringing the knees over or scooting your hips to the left, drop your knees to the right. And again, if you stayed in shoulder stand a little bit longer, take a moment or two to really let your spine settle before coming into a spinal twist. Good. And then bring the hips back to center, please. Scoot the hips over to the right, drop the knees to the left. Good. And then coming back to center, please, hugging the knees in towards the chest, bring your forehead up to meet your knees and squeeze. then slowly release, extending the legs out in front of you, arms alongside you, palms facing up. Finding your way into Shavasana. It's similar to Tadasana, where you can think of yourself as just standing around if you're in Tadasana. In Shavasana, you're not just laying around taking a nap. It's a place to breathe yourself so wide, a place to set your mind free into that bigger ecstatic energy. A place for you to be listening so deeply. That your inner truth, your inner reality is truly revealed. Very gently bring the awareness back to your breath. Let your body begin to stretch and move in whatever ways serve it well. And as you're ready, draw your knees in towards your chest and roll to your right side. And take a moment before you begin to push the floor away, come back to an upright seated position. Throwing your water bottles wherever you need them to be. Come back to your seat, the hands together at the heart center, palm to palm. We do this, right? Hands either in the West, we call it prayer position, or the namaskar. We do this as that sort of acknowledgement that as we are practicing, that we are opening ourselves to something that is bigger. Whether you call that the soul, you call it God, you call it infinite love, you call it nature, you call it expansiveness, you call it whatever you call it. The key to it is that you practice that state of being deeply open and receptive, so that it's not something that is abstract in your mind, that you imagine it is this way, that you actually know from the depth of you that this is what it is, the I am, right? You are what you are, the I am, the self with a capital S, whatever that is. And so the practice, whatever it looks like on the outside, is always this. It's becoming more open to listening. It's becoming more opening to receive, so that what is fundamentally true and real is revealed to you. You don't have to think it. You don't have to know it. You get a little quieter, you find out that you already know it. Beyond your mind, you know it. Practice listening. Close with the sound of Om, deep breath in. Sliding the thumbs to the space between the eyebrows. Namaste.
Namaste.
Thank you guys so much. Have a great rest of your day, great rest of your week until I see you again.
Thanks,
Yeah.
Veronica.
You're welcome. Keep your eye, of course, on the email. There's the teachers who are graduating today, or teachers in training are graduating today, and they're doing, as we usually do, a community class throughout the summer. So it's going to be online Sunday nights from 6 to 7, I believe. And it's all by donation. So if you want to be a part of that suggested donation to UNICEF, there's a link on the email that's talking about it. But every week it's a different teacher. You don't get to know who it is until you're there that day. So it's kind of fun. It's a surprise, right? So that's,
This Sunday?
I have to, no, it doesn't start today. So it might start next week. I have to look, I don't remember the exact date, but an email went out the other day about it. So if you're interested in that, that's coming up. And then there'll be more things. So just keep your eyes open. Okay. Bye.
Good one.